Cam, just briefly back to Tuesday. That must have been. I think those games are almost the most frustrating you can play. When you play well and don't get anything, that's almost worse than being rubbish and getting pumped.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like if we look back at the game, we've done more than enough to try and get something from the game. I think that's the most frustrating thing with the goal we conceded as well. It is avoidable. But yeah, I feel like we can take a lot of positives into the coming games and into the international break, because the last two games we've played really well. Obviously, it's frustrating the results, but yeah, we can take the positives.
And for you personally, getting yourself back into the team, is it a bit bittersweet? Because obviously you want to be playing every match, but when the results aren't quite there, does it take some of the shine off it?
Yeah, a little bit. Especially last Saturday, I feel like the goal we conceded was a little bit. We've obviously cleared the corner and they've took the shot on the edge of the box. Sometimes you've got to hold your hands up and say, he's hit it well. Took a deflection on the way past. So that's the most frustrating thing about that. And then the goal on Tuesday against my mind's gone now. Yeah, the goal Tuesday, the header against Sheffield. Yeah, it's frustrating because I feel like it can go either way with the offside call as well, because he's pushed Zak in the back and got in the way of him heading the ball. But yeah, I feel like as a unit at the back there, we've defended well in open play, and yeah, we just got to keep going like that.
And on a personal level, it must be great being back in that team and getting the 90 minutes and being a part of it again.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like 2 games in the space of 3-4 days for me. It's quite tough, mentally wearing on me as well. So it's good to get the minutes. It's good to test myself and prove to people that I can actually last the 90 minutes for the 2 games. Especially Tuesday, it was a lot of up and down work as well as like more side to side work on against Swansea. So yeah, it's decent to get the minutes.
There must have been times over the last few months where it's been frustrating, because when you're working hard and training out there and not getting involved in match day squads, that's not good for anyone, is it?
Yeah, definitely it's been frustrating, but you've just got to try and stay as positive as possible and keep training well, and when you get your chance, you've got to take it. I feel like Saturday I did that. Tuesday again, not as tidy as on the ball as Saturday, but yeah, done enough defensively, I think, to stay in the gaffer's mind.
Yeah, and actually having that belief in yourself, isn't it, at those moments when maybe you're not playing, knowing that you are good enough when you get your opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's the one thing that keeps you going. I feel like, for me personally, I feel like I am good enough to play here, and that you kind of want to, on a selfish note, you kind of want to prove people wrong and say, look, I am good enough to play here, and I do want to play every single minute of the season, sort of thing. So yeah, you just got to keep pushing and keep going.
Especially having had such a positive season last season and really breaking through and being a first team regular. I suppose that's when they say that your progression isn't always in a straight line, isn't it? You've got to take the rough with the smooth.
Yeah, definitely. Feel like it's a lot of character building when you're not playing and you're out of the team. You try not to get too angry or too frustrated. So yeah, definitely take the rough with the smooth.
Yeah, and the manager was just in here saying he was talking about Zak as well, about how he's really improved his game from 6 months ago and made himself a first team regular, and I guess that challenge is there with you. You've got yourself to a level now, you've got to try and push yourself up a little bit higher.
Yeah, I think Zak's probably the motivation for all of us, because he's obviously, the end of last season he wasn't doing his best, but now he's shown to everyone that he's miles above what he was last season, and yeah, I think everyone wants to aspire to that level of like pulling yourself out of that rut that you were in and becoming probably the main man at the back there at the minute.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, from what we've seen, you definitely got that ability to do something similar. The manager was equally saying about trying to get a bit more of you going forwards, which is more difficult as a centre back than it is when you're playing wing back. But is that something you're conscious of yourself?
Yeah, I feel like I'm able to do that. Especially the game on Tuesday, I was trying to get on the striker's shoulder, receive the ball and drive forward. Obviously, there's times in the game where you've kind of got to keep the ball and turn out, and because your legs won't allow you to just keep going back and forth. But yeah, it's definitely something I can do more, I think, especially playing in that position when I'm running at people rather than receiving the ball and turning into someone. So yeah, it's definitely something I'm trying to work on and do more.
And that's something that experience is so vital with that, because the more games you play, the more you kind of understand exactly when you can do it and when you can't, and the only way you get that is by playing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like left centre half is a big sort of learning curve for me, because like you said, I'm still learning the position. I still kind of play like a left back there at the minute, where I drive forward with the ball. So yeah, still learning and still improving.
Yeah, absolutely. So next opportunity to do that is Middlesbrough, who have not, maybe I think a lot of people would have expected them to be right up at the top of the table. They've not been quite that good, but still you look down the squad and it's a very strong unit, isn't it?
Yeah, and they've got a new manager as well, so they'll probably be trying to prove a point, so it'll be a tough game. But I feel like if we take the two performances that we've had, the last two, I feel like we got a good chance of going up there and getting a result.
Super. Thank you, Cam.
No worries.
Okay, I was quite surprised to see you had 8 learning spells before coming through. I was just wondering what you learned as a player and kind of as a person during those periods.
Yeah, like I said, is character building. I feel like well, with every loan spell, it's been a step up. So it's not been like I've been at League 2 and then straight into Championship. It's always been a gradual sort of step up, which has been good. But again, it's character building. When I get left out of the team, I'm trying not to get too frustrated because I'm away from home as well, and just keep plugging away. Yeah.
It was only 12 months ago that you kind of breaking through. 13 months ago, whatever it was. How did you find that step up in level for you? And because you were playing consistently on a weekly basis.
I feel like it was hard physically on me. It was quite a lot to get used to. You could probably see that in the later stages of the games when I was playing. But yeah, I feel like training every day with the lads is a massive step up from wherever I've been. I was actually talking yesterday about when I come back from Portsmouth and that week when I come back, the levels that were set that week were massive compared to where I was at Portsmouth. So yeah, the steps are massive.
I think a lot of supporters were kind of surprised and confused about why you were out at the team at the end of last season and the beginning of this season. Can you answer why that was the case? Was there a particular reason at all?
I can't really give you an answer for that. Is the gaffer picks a team and whatever he does is the final say.
Is there a period yet to go maybe knock on the manager's door at all?
Yeah, we've had a few chats. He's just told me to stay positive, keep working hard. I'll get my chance.
Did you work on anything in your game during that period that you can take into?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I've been working on in training and stuff to try and prove to the gaffer that I can sort of play and be reliable. I think that's the main thing for me is being reliable on the pitch and not obviously I can be positive when I got the ball, but defensively just reliable, make no mistakes and try be as good as a defender as possible.
I kind of think back to the first pre-season game against Cheltenham when it was 0-0, I think, and you came on, got an assist, and changed the game, and then picked up an injury, and that kind of kept you out for a few weeks. Did that felt like a big setback for you at the time?
Yeah, at that time it felt like one step forward and two steps back. I felt like I started that pre-season flying, to be honest, and yeah, it was a massive setback, and I think that took its toll with the opening games of the season and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely been a challenge getting back into the team, and hopefully I can keep my place now.
You mentioned to Ed that the last two games can be a bit mentally taxing. In what respects?
So you got a team like Swansea that just like to keep the ball and just move it side to side, and their movement, they drop in and they don't spin as much, but their movement where they interchange in midfield, you've got to constantly be talking to your Matty James and Scotty that was in front of me, and Jay was stepping in, I was going wide. So you've got to be constantly switched on. Whereas Sheffield, they mixed it up quite a lot, so it was a completely different game where they can play, but they also try going behind. So yeah, you've just got to be really switched on.
I think you've played left centre back, left wing back, left midfield. What's kind of the best position to get the best out of you? Is it?
I don't know myself at the minute, because I enjoy playing left centre half, where I can get the ball and travel with it. I feel like I'm defensively strong enough to play there, same as left wing back, but I feel like when I can sort of drive with the ball, I feel like that's when I'm at my best. So I don't know myself.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
How did you find playing with Jay? Like a lot of last season, he almost doubled up with the fullbacks, and it worked really well at the start of the season. Do you think you two suit each other quite well with different abilities?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like Jay's probably more comfortable on the ball than me. He can sort of, when he takes a throw and three people press him at the same time, he can sort of get himself out of that with no problems. I feel like, whereas me, I can take sort of a big touch and beat a defender with pace. So yeah, I feel like our different sort of attributes sort each other, work really well with each other.
You said about Zak, like proving everyone wrong this season. How have you found having him in the middle? Like, I guess he's kind of was like the leader in that back line. Like, how have you found him in that role?
The two games I've played with him, he's been like you said, a leader. He's constantly talking, constantly making me and George think about what we're doing. I think that's what you need with someone who's in the middle of the back three.
Do you feel numerous loan spells over the years have kind of helped you adapt quicker to playing with different players and in different positions? Yeah,
definitely. The loan spells that I've been on, I can only recall once that I've played in a different position, but definitely different players. I feel like you adapt to different systems and stuff like that, and different managers have different styles, so you've got to learn. You take different things away from every single loan spell about what you learn from different managers and stuff like that, what they teach you and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely good.
And do you have to prepare differently, knowing obviously last couple of games you were playing kind of left centre back, this weekend or slightly as well? Do you have to prepare differently for that?
Not particularly. I feel like you go into every single game just wanting to do your best. Saturday was a bit different because I had about 10 minutes to prepare, so you don't think about the game at all. So yeah, I feel like you go into every single game preparing exactly the same.
And you had a couple of spells at Charlton in the youth and then on loan. Wade Elliott coached you briefly, I believe. Obviously, kind of a hero in Bristol City. What was he like as a coach?
Well, I think I had 1 week's training with him, so I can't really say. When I come in, I was with the 18s for 6 months, and I was up here for about a week, so it's hard to say what he was exactly like.
No worries. And obviously 3 games now, 9 days before the World Cup. For you, as a player and as a fan, are you looking to punch the World Cup, or is it just about getting the recovery and ready to go?
I think I'm going to relax for a couple of weeks, and then we're back at it with some running. And I think whilst we're away, we get sent some running sessions to do. But yeah, put my feet up. It's a bit frustrating for me because obviously I've just got back in the team. I wouldn't want to stop right now because I'd want to keep going. And yeah, I hope when I get back, or I hope this weekend to start, I can stay in the team, and then yeah, put myself in a good position for when we come back. Cheers. Thank you.